Hello there. Let's see. When conservatives say that they want a merit based society, they prove that they don't. So that argument kind of needs to be shut down. And I'm basing that on Trump firing Charles Q. Brown and Linda Fagan. They are very high ranking. Charles Q. Brown is the highest, was the highest, and most senior ranking military officer in the entire military. That's what the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff is. And he was removed from that position, and Trump installed someone else. I will discuss that later. But let's see. This Charles Q. Brown, man, he was in the Air Force. He was a fighter pilot. He fought many missions. He flew in war zones in, looks like, the Iraq War and other conflicts, mainly in the Middle East, it seems. But, that was just kind of me doing some real quick research. So this man is pretty much Tom Cruise in Top Gun. I mean, he's Maverick, but in real life. That position, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, that is the advisor to the president. And just the most senior military officer. He was placed in that position by Biden. And actually, in the first Trump term, Charles Q. Brown was nominated to Chiefs of Staff Air Force. So, Trump put him in a pretty high position. Then Biden put him in the highest position. And then Trump fired him and replaced him with a man called John D. Kane. He's the first person ever to be put in that position that was never a general or an admiral. He's a lieutenant general, and he's a 3-star. So the man who got fired was a 4-star general, and John D. Kane is a 3-star lieutenant general. So this is getting to be pretty objective. So when all these so-called conservatives say that they want a merit-based society, they clearly do not. This man, John D. Kane, he's just basically a Trump fan, a real big Trump fan. He told Trump that he loved him and wore a red hat in his military garb, which is against the rules. So now that is the presidential so-called advisor. So he's basically the head of the Trump fan club. And let's see, Linda Fagan. She was an admiral in the Coast Guard, the first woman to be the leader of a military service. And I take that to mean one of the branches of the military. Anyway, she was an admiral. I mean, that sounds pretty serious to me, but I guess now that women can achieve that rank, I guess it's not a big deal anymore, according to you-know-who. And let's see, she took a stand against sexual assault in the military, which is a very big deal because the military is kind of notorious for sexual assaults against women, but I can also see why Trump would not like that. So he fired her as well from that position. So a 4-star general and a fighter pilot who's like real life Maverick and a admiral in the Coast Guard got fired. But this is supposed to be a merit-based society, right? It was ridiculous. And let's see, the new Joint Chiefs of Staff is a person who's never been a general or an admiral, but he's a Trump fan. So yeah, merit-based society, right? And let's see, the new director of the FBI, his name is Kash Patel. This man is very, I don't know, he makes me really uncomfortable. In most pictures of him, he has a very crazed look in his eye. To me, you can kind of tell that he's not quite right. But anyway, now he's the director of the FBI. He is a professional conspiracy theorist. He's a QAnon conspiracy theorist. So he probably just, put all this nonsense out on Facebook. And let's see, the deputy director of the FBI, the new one, his name is Dan Bongino. He was a New York City police officer for a while. He was in the Secret Service, and he is a podcaster, and he's been banned from YouTube. So that's kind of all of his claim to fame. And now he's the deputy director of the FBI, and he's a conspiracy theorist as well. And so hide your wife, hide your kids, hide your man, hide your husband. Because here's the thing, like, I'm kind of a news junkie, right? When it comes to like crimes like abuse of like vulnerable people and stuff like that, the FBI is who solves a lot of these crimes. Like, I don't even like to say the word, but I mean, just nasty pictures of vulnerable people. I'll just say that. The FBI is who tracks these people and who really makes a case against them. Now, local law enforcement, they might help go get these people, but it's really the FBI who really does the work, does the homework. And now this conspiracy theorist is the director of the FBI. That is not a good thing. I really feel like everyone's safety is going to be compromised. So, if you have minors in your life, keep them off the internet or monitor their activity very, very closely. Because, we have these complete unhinged weirdos just like running things, and it's very, very sad. So, again, all these people who claim that they want a merit based society, they are lying. They are not telling the truth. They're gaslighting us. And at the beginning of this year, I just decided no more gaslighting for me ever again in my life. At my age and at this point in history, just no more gaslighting. So, anyway, I just wanted to say that it's kind of been just bothering me. As soon as I heard about the firing of Charles Q. Brown, I don't know a lot about the military, so I just kind of did a little bit of research on like what all these titles were and stuff like that. And I mean, even just like looking at the guy, he's pretty darn impressive because he has a chest full of all of those bars. I'm just like, whoa, this is a pretty serious looking dude. But then I looked into what all of that meant. And this is by any metric, this is a man with a lot of merit. So I don't know. But yeah, all this gaslighting about a merit-based society, shut it down. Just shut it down. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about that. Oh, and this John D. Kane fella, who is the new chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, he is what they call a venture capitalist. I did a little bit of research about that as well. Typically, when you hear about a venture capitalist, it's nothing at all that is positive. Vivek Ramaswamy was described the same way. And pretty much, it just seems like people who are just like really reckless investors, and they just try and they invest in businesses like startups and such, and they can just be kind of reckless. I'll just put it that way. Anyway, it just kind of can affect all of us and affect the economy in a pretty negative way. So, anyway, that's all I have to say. People who fought for civil rights in the 60s, they were fighting for a merit-based society. That's what they stood for, that's what they fought for. All these people that claim that they're fighting for a merit-based society now are not. They're liars and they're gaslighters. Military rankings, I mean, I know nothing's like perfectly objective, but that's fairly objective, and that's what the military is known for, is objectivity. And very impressive people who are willing to lay their life on the line and have laid their life on the line for this country have been dismissed for no real reason other than merit based, trying to have a merit based society. And I guess they were saying that they stood for um, DEI, which, what does that even mean? You know, I mean, just existing as a female or a black person, does that mean that you like are pro DEI? Anyway, this is all very unfortunate, and I'm going to go ahead and stop this now. Thank you. Bye.